Hey everybody, Allison Gardner here. I thought I knew exactly where I was going with this video, and I tried and it didn't work. So I have been putting a lot of pondering on this and a lot of feeling on this. And I'm just gonna see where this takes me. Because the conclusion that I'm coming to is life is just hard for everybody. Do I think that I have a corner on the market? No. Does that mean that what I struggle with isn't hard? No. It just means that every one of us has a carefully laid out life plan, and that life plan is going to take us places we didn't expect. And every one of us has a final destination of where we want to get to. And that final destination might be different. That's totally cool. And who we become is different because we are all unique individuals. Whatever seed you plant is the fruit that you get. And so I'm an Allison seed, and I planted an Allison seed, and so whatever plant that I'm going to grow into and whatever fruit I'm going to bear is going to be an Allison seed and an Allison plant and an Allison fruit. And whatever plant my husband is going to be my husband plant, because that's the plant he is and the fruit that he's going to bear. And the same is true for my parents and my siblings and the person across the street and my in-laws and all of these things. We spend so much time, so much of our lives comparing ourselves to other people. We spend so much of our time thinking that we don't measure up because we do something different than somebody else. But they're their own seed and their own plant and their own fruit. And so me having a hard time in my marriage, not because there's anything wrong with my marriage, but because I'm playing a game that there are no rules, and I don't always know how to do it right, and I don't know how to communicate what I need, and the person that I love doesn't know how to communicate what they need, and just because of all those things, that doesn't make my life any harder or any better than anybody else's. It just makes it what it is. And for some reason, being that real right there shook me a lot. And it kind of makes me want to just press stop and run away. Because I have a hard time admitting that I struggle. Especially because when I look around and I see the crap that people face, I go, how can I say anything? How can I complain? How can I feel? Because look at what all these people around me are feeling. And what I feel like Heavenly Father is trying to teach me hardcore right now is, one, I'm not complaining. Me sharing is working to explain. Me sharing is working for me to process. I actively seek solutions every day. I actively seek to do better tomorrow than I did today. For me, complaining is just, it can be addictive, and it's very negative, and it draws more negative energy. And so when you start complaining about how hard things are and how awful things are and how rough things are, you're so focused in the now and the moment and how bad it hurts that you can get stuck there. Sharing is what you do to try and gain perspective, to gain understanding, to get some distance. And that's what my video about listening and loving spouses with depression was all about, is that every one of us needs to share with someone. Every one of us needs somebody to talk to, and it is a deep-seated human need to be understood, to be seen. And so every one of us will face season in our lives when we need to be seen and we need to be understood and we need to be able to show up as fully who we are. And if we are trapped in comparison, if we are trapped in being afraid that what's going on for us isn't big enough to share with someone else, isn't big enough to burden someone else with, then we are going to be very unseen, feel very not understood, and feel very alone. So I would invite you to think about what kind of fruit you are and to realize that the tree and whatever kind of plant you are, with whatever kind of fruit you bear, whether that's a flower or a legit fruit, this is all metaphorically speaking, and I know, but I want you to just think about who you are at your core and what you need to grow well. And then I want you to think about how it doesn't matter what plant you are, what fruit you bear. Every person on the planet is going to face rain and is going to face frost and is going to face weird insects nibbling and wind trying to blow you over. Life is about growing and changing, and you face that in struggle, you face that in pain, you face that in ouches. And so if you feel like what you're facing isn't big enough for it to hurt, that is a fat lie. And I hope that you will claim that you matter because you're human, and that if you're facing hard stuff, that doesn't make you less human. And if you are looking around, please stop. Remember that you are your own fruit, that you are your own plant, that you are doing your best to be your best self, and that if you need to reach out, it's because you, for yourself, need it. So show yourself the kindness to know that you don't have to be perfect and you don't have to be like anybody else. Just be you and be at peace knowing that you are yourself.